I don't know with what weapons the World War III will be fought, but I know that sticks and stones will be the weapon for World War IV. These are not my words; these are the words of a Nobel Prize winner, physicist Albert Einstein. So the topic for my today's lecture is World War III. So, firstly, we will have to understand what is a world war. So, a war is considered as a world war when multiple parties and nations are involved into this, and the war has a global impact over all the continents. And there is also an industrial level of production for the weapons and ammunition. For an example and context, I would like to quote that there was a 7-year war in 18th century between Britain and France, but that is not considered as the world war because there was no production at industrial level. Else, whether it impacted a lot of continents, including India as well. So it needs industrial involvement for the weapon production and ammunition production, which could be completely harnessed in current world scenarios and industrialized world. So now we will have to discuss about the reasons why the World War III scenario is quite possible. So coming on to the volatility of the international relationships and also the frequently changing relationships and building up of the global hotspot in the places like Ukraine-Russia conflict, Israel-Gaza conflict, Iran and US heating up, US annexation of US ambitions over Greenland, and also China's expansionist policies. These are the reasons because of which there could be a possible they could prove themselves as a possible trigger for the World War III. Coming on to why the World War III is not that much possible of a scenario. The scenarios will be the economic dependence and globalization throughout the globe, because of which alteration in any of the nations scenario or the war involvement of any of the nations will impact the globe. For an example, if US gets itself involved into a war, it is going to impact the global economy and supply chains. Same goes with China, India, and many other nations and continents. Coming on to the consequences of the possible World War III. So, World War III scenario is quite disastrous because now 9 of the countries are owning nuclear weapons, and they won't even hesitate against their territorial integrity being threatened to use these nuclear weapons, which make it much more dangerous for the humanity, and that also increases the environmental sustainability and also life expectancy costs if we consider scenarios of World War III. Coming on to the conclusion, I would like to state that World War III is a scenario which is not affordable for the humanity, whether being economically, humanity-wise, or even in terms of sustainable development and life expectancy. Coming on, and all such geopolitical turmoil should be dealt diplomatically, so that there should be minimum on-ground escalation, which could result in any possible scenarios like World War.